last one.
Yeah, no more aliens after this.
Yep.
There's no
It's
more.
not the aliens that I'm worried about. It's these fake movies.
Fake movies?
Yeah. AVP.
How's it a fake movie?
It's not an aliens movie.
So how does that make it a fake movie? It's a real movie.
Fake aliens movie. Like Predator 2. Which was also a fake Predator movie.
Really?
Yeah. Have you got anything to say about this shit ball before we start?
It's been a while since I watched it.
Me too.
Have you ever actually seen it?
Yeah.
I have no expectations going in. This is probably the first movie.
I have low expectations going in.
Out of all the movies we watched so far, this is the only one where I don't even have low expectations. I have no expectations. I'm pretty sure it's bad just because of the reputation the movie has. It's a bad movie. But I'm not expecting a Citizen Kane masterpiece. But I'm not expecting it to be as bad as Airheads.
I am.
No, it's different though because I never really had. With Airheads had before I watched it had some nostalgia to it, just because I remember liking it.
Yes, but we knew it was going to be bad.
Oh yeah, we knew it was going to be bad, but I don't think this is going to be as bad as Airheads.
Yeah, we'll see. In a different way, it will be bad.
I'm interested to see. Listen, I don't really remember. I remember more of the second movie, the second AVP than I do this one. And I'm wondering if this. I don't know if this one. I don't remember which one this takes its cues from. If it's more action movie like Predator, or if
It's more alien.
it's more like a suspense movie than a horror movie.
If I remember correctly.
You're probably wrong.
Could be. I could have deleted as much of this from my memory as possible.
So we'll see you whenever this shit's done. God, that menu's fucking dark. Or is it just TV?
I don't know.
Anyway, we'll see you when this abortion of a movie is over.
At least you agree with me now.
I'll probably agree with you more once we're done watching it.
I'm gonna love it. Best movie ever.
Really? My God.
So after watching it,
Let's move to Antarctica.
we can definitively say not the fifth Aliens movie.
Yes.
Because if you take into account any of the other Aliens movies or any of the Predator movies, that does not match up in the timeline at all.
No, it doesn't. Right. My God, that was just.
It was a movie. Had aliens and predators in it.
Stupid predators.
So we learned that in a hand-to-hand fight, aliens win.
In a melee fight, at least, anyway.
Yes. That would be hand-to-hand.
Not really, just kind of different. Melee using weapons.
They
never really like punched each other. Well, I mean, the aliens punched because they don't. Well, actually, no, they bite at people because people overuse that goddamn tongue like it's fucking fifth arm. So.
It's also its penis. Little known fact.
The facehugger is more of the thing's penis. There's a penis that comes out of it. It's a vagina with a penis that shoots out of it. This is fucking terrible. How did a second one of these get made? Seriously.
Because of the internet.
Really, you would have thought that the internet would have completely trashed this.
Yes, I would have thought that the internet would have learned its lesson. Yes.
Because I mean, that's just.
They probably just made enough movie at the box office, or enough money at the box office, because it was Alien versus Predator that justified a second. And probably DVD sales with dumbasses like you buying the DVD.
Probably. I didn't see it in theaters though.
Neither did
I remember when this movie came out, I wanted to like this movie. And I will admit the end thing with the alien with the predator face. In theory, that could have been a cool idea, but I know they fucked it all up in the second one.
See, I think it's stupid, just like the end of Jason Goes to Hell, with Freddy's glove coming up, pulling the mask down. That was also stupid. And also Freddy versus Jason, stupid.
Freddy vs. Jason was a better movie than this, though.
But it was still stupid. It was one of those crossovers that, like, everybody's like, oh, gee, we should see those two fight. No, you shouldn't, because it's stupid.
I agree.
I mean, they came up with, that's fine, this premise, they came up with a reason for them to fight. But you really had to fucking stretch it in Freddy vs. Jason to say that you could put Jason into a dream fucking state.
Because he's a fucking zombie.
Yeah.
By that
like
point,
sedated or not, probably not going to sleep.
By that point, he's a zombie. Because I don't really think until Tommy kills him, when Corey Feldman's Tommy, he's not a zombie by that point. He's just a guy that can take a fucking beating. But anyway, getting back to this shitstorm of a movie, they just like cherry picked certain things out of each franchise and ignored everything else. Like, completely ignored it.
Duh.
Like, how fast the freaking face huggers gestate the aliens inside. It was like, what, 20 minutes?
Maybe. And then about that again, from alien to go from little alien to full grown.
Right. And my God,
And, oh, another thing. There were quite a few aliens in this movie. Like, more than they had people to gestate inside of.
You're right. I didn't even think about that till the end. You're thinking about the end. You're right. There was at least, 10 or 12 there.
Mm-hmm.
And the best thing about the Aliens movies, even the bad ones, is that you somewhat get there's at least one or two characters in all of them that you halfway give a shit about, excluding Ripley. Because, like, even though you didn't like 3's confusing, but at least the Doctor, they made you care about the Doctor and the preacher guy. They made you care about them.
Yeah.
This movie, fuck these people.
You mean the least observant woman in the world?
Yeah, she's beginning.
Yeah, she climbed up a mountain in the beginning and didn't notice the helicopter that landed on the shelf above her. And that's who you want to lead your expedition.
But aside from that, I mean, these people, you get maybe a minute of remote character development, and then it's just,
Yeah, it's like the guy that lasted the longest. What was his biggest character thing? He was Italian, apparently.
And he had that old
bottle
cap on a string.
And it's just like, here's my character. I'm Italian.
Hey! Should have named him Mario. But the guy with the camera on the helicopter, the plane, with taking the pictures.
Yeah, that was...
That British guy, he was just like...
Nobody cared.
Nobody cared.
Even about
the
Wayland. You don't really care about Wayland.
Okay, and you were talking about how when that guy was... No, you don't really care about Wayland. I mean, which is sad. But, okay, they talked when that guy was reading the hieroglyphics and the whole thing, them blowing everything up. Alright, and you brought up the point when we were watching it about how the Queen lived. And I thought about it. More important question would be, how did that pyramid survive if they blew everything up?
It's an EMP burst that also kills biological stuff. I don't think they ever said it was an actual explosion. It just wiped out life, but that leaves how did the Queen survive? And also my question of why didn't the Queen ever call all her aliens to her before?
That's true, because like
bust her out.
in that flashback that they showed, there was what, a couple
Hundreds,
100,000 of them. Why didn't they fuck the Predator? Let's get the Queen loose. But and their whole thing of them coming every 100 years, again, is thrown off by the Predator franchise because the original Predator, the movie was made in '87. So, and I don't think it actually took place in '87. I mean, I'm sure it took place in the '80s just because...
Well, yeah, this is like I said, well, you can't call this one a sequel because it's not. Because Lance Hendrickson's character is who the Bishop models were modeled after. He was still alive in the third Alien movie, which was way in the future.
Yeah. I just... But I also, that Wayland character is in Prometheus too.
They like him. And his whole thing for finding this expedition is like, I want to leave my mark on the world. You mean instead of like your name on the fucking doors of the biggest company on the planet? Like, yeah, I'm not gonna be remembered.
Right. I mean, that's like...
Yeah, you remember Wayland? Oh, the guy that found that archaeological dig. No, the guy that owns fucking Wayland, Utani.
That would be like Bill Gates wanting to turn into Indiana Jones, like, comes out with a press release. Hey, I'm gonna go find the Ark of the Covenant.
Well, it's just like, oh yeah, I found this. Well, who cares? You founded Microsoft. Although I guess if you did actually find the Ark of the Covenant, he might be remembered for that.
That might be a toss-up. I mean, everybody used...
Well, it would be Bill Gates, the guy that founded Microsoft and found the Ark of the Covenant.
But, yeah, there's... We did learn that we could probably move to Antarctica and be fine.
Yeah, not real cold in Antarctica.
Not cold in Antarctica at all.
Not even cold enough to see your breath when you're outside without a coat. Those did look like some warm gloves, though.
That was... Maybe that was like a Under Armour shirt where it kind of trapped all her heat on her body. I don't know. Because the thing about it, the only way I can think to justify it is, with the facehugger thing, that one Predator gets impregnated. And it took him at least half the movie for that chest burster to come out.
He's bigger.
He's bigger. Okay. That's your theory. He's bigger.
Different
Species.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's about the only but the only. I mean, I don't know. That movie was just terrible.
What's next?
I believe it is a Japanese horror movie called Alive.
No, you don't have like Air Bud or something waiting in the wing.
I don't have Air Bud. I think it's Alive and then American History X are the next two. Alive, I think I've only seen like half of. It's fucked up.
One I haven't seen. American History X will definitely still hold up, I bet.
I bet it will too. That's an awesome movie. But do not watch this. Do not. I would watch Airheads again before I watch this.
That's stretching it.
I seriously, I think I would.
If you have 100 minutes and aren't going to do anything else, I don't know, read a book.
Inject salt water into your eyes. My God. I don't even think
It
Samuel.
wasn't like that bad, but it's not good.
I don't even think Samuel Jackson could have saved this movie.
Probably not. I'm sure there's movies he's in that suck.
I'm sure there is too. Snakes on a Plane's not really his best effort ever.
Hey,
But he was the only reason that made that movie good.
Snakes on a Plane. Did you? That's one of those movies where you don't go in and be like, well, this is going to be a great artistic masterpiece.
This could have been a good. No, stop. This could have been a good. Could have been. It's not by any stretch of the imagination.
I don't think so.
If they, like I said, if they would have stuck closer to the comic book and the novel sources of Alien versus Predator, what they did with them is a million times better than this. But as much as
You're asking a lot of Hollywood.
I know I am. And
So
if
they can't even stick to the source material for X-Men. So
yeah, but they stick fairly close to it. I mean, there's some things that they do that don't make that are complete trash.
well, it's my least favorite thing, and this is obviously going off on a tangent, but we won't get to this till it fucking X anyway. And I've said it before, the Rogue Wolverine relationship in that movie is the same as the Jubilee Wolverine relationship in the comic books.
And the cartoon, the
Yeah.
90s cartoon. Now, my biggest problem with that was
Plus, when you make Rogue a little girl and have her dig on Iceman, you leave out Gambit until the shitty Origins movie.
which doesn't count anymore in continuity, thank God.
I don't know. I always like Laserpool, Mute.
Laserpool?
Or Laserpool. Yeah. Mute Laser Eyes Deadpool. That's straight out the comic book.
I think Laserpool is a better name for that character because it wasn't Deadpool. By any stretch of the imagination, that was not Deadpool. No, my biggest thing with that movie was the whole. With the first movie is. They had such a. I mean, they could have built up. Because out of all the movies, Sabretooth's only in that one movie, and he looked fucking cool.
Yeah.
They could have done more with that, because I mean, he gets dropped on a boat at the end of that movie, and he just disappears. It's like, really, he's fucking Sabretooth.
Yeah, he'll be back in a year. I mean, he wasn't, and then he got replaced actor-wise.
By Liv Schreiber, who did a terrible job at that.
That could be a movie in and of itself.
It should be a movie in and of itself.
They should have done the whole Weapon X project thing by itself, and then if you wanted to go into Wolverine, you should have done the Sabretooth.
They might do it. I know they're talking, they want to get Hugh Jackman to do a Wolverine 3. Because I can see him go, I mean, I haven't seen the second Wolverine movie.
It's alright.
But I could see him going, because they covered his time in Japan.
Yeah.
I could see him moving into Alpha Flight, which would be kind of cool.
But then you'd probably get Dude back again, Schreiber. And Sabretooth.
I don't think so. I think you'd find somebody else to do it.
You'd hope so.
Yeah. But, yeah, don't watch this movie. This is one of the times I agree. Go watch Strange Brew instead of watching this.
Yep. Actually, most of his other movies, while not great, are better than this.
Paul W.S. No, they're not.
Yeah, they are. I didn't say they were great. Actually, I just said they weren't great. They are better than this. You are better off watching one of the multitude of Resident Evil movies.
Probably. Because after what, the first two that kind of took a nosedive.
Oh, they get crazy.
I haven't seen
The
anything.
last one was hilarious if you played the games.
I don't think I've seen bits and pieces of like 3 and 4, but I've never actually sat down and watched them all.
They're better than this.
And the Three Musketeers, which you haven't seen his remake of that. Oh my god, that movie's terrible.
But there was the other shit though. I forget.
Soldier.
Yeah, Soldier's alright.
Event Horizon.
That's fine.
The first Mortal Kombat.
That one. No.
But thinking of how convoluted that whole Mortal Kombat universe is, that movie is the best movie representation of it.
It was fine when I saw it as a kid when we were into Mortal Kombat. I thought it was good. You have it, yes.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
I have it on VHS.
Oh. If I watched it now, there's no way I would make it through that movie.
I don't know, I watched it not too long ago. The fight scenes are still pretty good in it.
Oh, see, I don't think they are. I got a bit and piece of it not too long ago of the reptile fight, which I remember being the best fight, the reptile Liu Kang fight, just because it was so fast paced.
Yeah.
And watching it now, it is not. It is like slow compared to most of the shit that goes on nowadays.
The only other movie that, like, video game, and again we're getting off on a weird tangent, video game like movie like that.
Street Fighter.
No, which you have and I don't think you've watched it, is the Tekken movie.
Oh no, I haven't.
The Tekken movie, and it's bad. I would give it that it's bad because that's a game universe that is beyond fucked in the head.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that they could actually make a decent movie if they left out most of the Tekken characters. If they just focused on the crazy ass Mishima family,
Which they do in that, but
they don't focus on it. When you make a Tekken, like when they made a Tekken movie, I'm sure like I said, I haven't seen it, but I'm sure it's like every other fighting game movie where they feel compelled to add as many characters from the game as possible.
I mean, there's the three Mishimas. Well, Jin's in it. His mom. And they even go into the fact that he was conceived out of a rape. The Williams sisters are in it. Steve Fox is in it. Steve Fox trains Jin for the Tekken fight.
You see, like...
Well, I mean, yeah, but...
I'm gonna make a Tekken game. What character do I want? Steve Fox. Yeah. My first choice.
Raven's in it. The black...
Again, that's another...
I think Christie's in it. The female Eddie Goro.
Yeah. That's just...
Yoshimitsu's in it, and Ray Park plays Brian Fury.
See, again, I wouldn't pick Brian Fury either.
Well, at least they didn't do something stupid like try and put a Jack in there.
He was one of the original roster.
That's true, he was. I don't remember what Jack that was, but it was
The first one. Just
was
Jack.
just called Jack. Anyway,
I told you that before we watched this movie.
we'll see you next week, which I'm pretty sure it's a Japanese horror movie called Alive.
And it will probably be better. Me knowing nothing about it, I'm going to go on record right now. It'll be better than this.
Probably. It can't be worse than this. It definitely cannot be worse than this. See you next week.
Oh, also,
What?
worst title screen ever.
Yes.
You can't see what the fuck you're selected.
What you can probably see on the screen on YouTube or your phone or wherever you're watching this, you can probably see about as much as we can on the DVD menu. We kind of talked about DVD menus last week. I think it was last week.
And this one
is
we
the
didn't
worst.
say this. This lost points for me. When you have a DVD where you can't just straight skip to the menu, that's minus points. They made me I could skip the previews, but I couldn't skip it by hitting the menu button. I'd actually advanced past the previews and then sat through 30 seconds of what we weren't even sure if it was the next preview or the lead into the fucking title screen.
The only movie, I know there's a couple movies I have that do this, but the one I know for certain is the Hellraiser and 10. When you put that in, the movie starts. You have to be ready because that, bam! I think it's Dimension is the film that put that, like the Dimension logo comes across there. There's no nothing, but
That's good.
I know I want to hit them before we go, and it's a weird tangent because I don't know when we're going to get a chance to get on it again. Movies like this, I think something that could have helped it a little bit if it wasn't rated PG-13.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because that was the one thing I noted, where is that like some guy gets killed and you see his flashlight fall, and there's blood on the flashlight, there is not another drop of blood anywhere.
No.
And then she used her one fuck, and then when they were about to, go back to the "you are one ugly motherfucker" line, since she had already said fuck, they cut it off.
She shoots that stupid gun.
Yeah.
Because that's my problem with like a lot of like the horror movies nowadays. So they can cram more people in theaters. They make them PG-13, and they're terrible.
They should make them NC-17.
Because I remember as a kid, like not even being 18 and getting into R-rated movies, no problem.
Well, yeah, I mean, you still could. Parents, take you. Fuck, I saw, I think it was Friday the 13th 7 when I was in middle school. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like renting them from the video store. Nobody carded you there.
In the theater.
Well, I know, but I'm just talking about like, I've seen, out of all the movies that I saw that were rated R, I guarantee I saw 90% of them when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, I remember sitting up late on HBO watching Nightmare on Elm Street.
I remember watching the first Hellraiser and my mom freaking out in that whole dream sequence with the baby crying. My mom's like, "What the hell are you watching? Are they killing a baby?" He's like, "No, I have no idea what's going on. And you can sit out here and watch this movie." She's like, looked at it, she's like, "No."
I think that's why like no movies really scare me like anymore, because I watched the first Nightmare on Elm Street like as a kid alone at night in the dark.
That movie's, I don't think that movie's gonna hold up, but.
I mean, probably not, but as a kid...
Yeah, that was kind of a generally... not really, I don't...
Because it wasn't a fucking comedy act at the first one.
He didn't, till...
Let's say
3? Which 3 everybody regards as the best one, which
it is probably the second best. Although I haven't seen 2 in so long that I don't even remember it. I know 5 is the absolute epitome of shit.
Is it the baby one?
Yes.
That was a cool concept, I think, to some degree.
But I think, again, that's why I don't even like the Freddy vs. Jason thing, because it's just, they turned Nightmare on Elm Street into just a fucking comedy, basically.
You've seen the remake, right?
Yeah.
See, I fell asleep like 10 minutes into it.
I like that.
Did they?
I like the fact that and people were bitching about this. Oh, they made him a pedophile. Good. He is actually, well, it was kind of alluded to. It was never said. It was straight up said in this, he's a pedophile. And it's like, yes, he is not supposed to be a likable fucking guy.
No, he's
he is
not.
the villain.
Right.
And I really like that they made him a despicable guy in it. Plus, I like the, Rorschach, the guy that played him.
That dude's fucking awesome. I don't know, as I saw a new trailer for the new RoboCop, I think he's the bad guy in RoboCop. I'm not 100% sure.
That I'm not looking forward to.
The remake, I'm not really looking forward to it either.
I wonder if they'll make that PG-13.
It is.
Is it?
Yes.
The very first scene in the original RoboCop is one of the most violent fucking scenes.
When he gets turned into RoboCop?
When he gets gunned down.
That's not how it's a car explosion.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, making that a PG-13 movie when that is one of the most epically violent fucking
I love it. Boom! But yeah, that. I think the Carrie remake was PG-13 too. I don't get. I mean, to some degree I understand movie studios' points, but if you're gonna do a horror movie, make it a fucking horror movie.
Yep.
It's like World War Z. Did you see World War Z? Mm-hmm. Oh my god! And I know there's friends of mine that love that movie. The worst zombie movie ever. Because you don't see a zombie. You don't see a zombie bite anybody in the entire movie. There is no blood in the entire. It's a zombie movie.
Well, yeah, there was one that I forget what the fuck it was called. It was free on 360, and that was like they weren't zombies. They were infected, and there was maybe 5 of them in the whole movie, and they were like, you could fight them off with like a wiffle ball bat. I mean, these were some lame goddamn.
I'm happy that the whole stupid sparkle vampire things died off, but this zombie thing needs to go away.
It depends on if it's done well. There's still shit that's doing it well.
What? Romero hasn't done a good zombie movie in years.
Well, he started it. He doesn't need to continue.
But he does.
I haven't watched many of his.
Land of the Dead was terrible.
Any of his recent ones. Resident Evil.
They're not even really. They're really zombies. They're not really zombies in that, are they?
Not anymore.
I don't even want to know. I don't.
They're called Magini or some shit like that now. But I mean, yeah. Now they're just infected with whatever letter of virus they happen to be on now.
They moved past T.
T was like a long time ago.
Well, if you're going alphabetically, did they go to S or did they go to U? Because I mean, if you
I
go
don't
from
even
T,
think they did. Man, it's hard to keep track of it. I don't even think they bothered doing alphabetically. It was just like the new virus was a different letter.
I will say, because I don't think I own the first one. I know I own the second one of Resident Evil, and I will give that when they did Tyrant, because Tyrant was in the second one. He actually looked really fucking good.
Yeah,
but
that was kind of a weak movie thing too. They just went in a weird, like, the first one you can watch going, okay, this is based off the game. Kinda. But I mean more so than the others. The others you have to go, okay, these are not Resident Evil movies now, these are about Jovovich's character. These are the Alice movies. Because they went in a way weird fucking direction with her character.
I liked her in Fifth Element a lot.
I like her. I think she's good.
She plays the same character in all her movies.
No.
Yes. Watch
Lilu Dallas is not the same as Lilu isn't the same as Alice in the Resident Evil movies. It's not the same as, like, I forget what the movie was where her and the dude she was with were psychos on like a vacationing thing. She plays different characters in the ghost movie that was, or the alien movie that was supposed to be real but was horseshit. I forget what the fuck it was called.
Oh, it was set like found footage type.
Yeah.
No, I never saw that. It looked stupid. I'm not a whole fan of
it's supposed to be real, but it's like, no, sorry, that didn't.
I'm not a whole fan of the found footage thing either. There's a couple movies that are okay like that. Like,
but it's not, I mean, it wasn't found footage. They were supposedly intersplicing actual footage taken with the movie.
Anyway, I'm done. Don't watch this movie.
Sure, don't watch this movie.
Like I said, we'll see you next week with Alive. I hope. That's next.
Unless you're lying.
What?
So unless you're lying.
No, I'm pretty
alphabetically, it sounds correct.
I'm pretty sure it is. Alright, see you next week.
Yup.